for this problem, we're going to do statement of cash flows, but we're only going to do the operating section of the statement of cash flows because that's the part that seems to trip a lot of folks up. So remember, for the statement of cash flows, in order to get the cash from operating activities, we always start with net income. And so our net income is $25,200. All right? And then from there we have to make our adjustments. The first thing you should always do is look for depreciation or amortization because that's a non-cash expense. It decreases your net income, so you have to add that back, and you always add it back. And so in this case, depreciation and amortization expense is $3,300. So we're going to add back $3,300, okay? The next thing we have is our decrease in accounts receivable. Remember that when we have a decrease in accounts receivable, we have to add that back because that's cash received above and beyond the revenues earned. And net income shows us the revenues earned. So we have to add back our decrease of $2,000 in accounts receivable. Okay? And so now we're going to do our increase. Whoops, get my pencil working here. Our increase in inventory. And remember, we had an increase in inventory, and inventory is an asset. And so if we increase our assets, we have to subtract that from our net income. So that $4,500 gets subtracted. Okay? And now I've run out of space on this slide. And so our next now is our prepaid insurance. Any prepaids we have to take care of in our operating activities. So in this case, we have an increase in prepaid insurance. And if you guys didn't think it was possible for my handwriting to get any worse, now you're noticing that it does. So again, prepaid insurance, remember, is an asset, and we're increasing that asset. So we are paying more cash for an expense that's not recognized. All right, so we have to subtract that out. So our increase in prepaid insurance gets subtracted. And so it's a negative $300. Now we have an increase in salaries payable. And our increase in salaries payable, remember, salaries payable is a liability, and it's a current liability. And so when our current liabilities increase, we add those back. All right, and so that means we had more expenses than we actually shelled out the cash, so we have to correct that back to our cash. And so that's why our increase in salaries payable is added. And then the last thing that we have to account for in this case is a decrease. Oops. A decrease in interest payable. All right? And so a decrease in interest payable is subtracted out. And now, those are all of our operating activities, so we get to total that up. And so our cash flows from operating activities are $26,200. Hope this helps, guys.